All right. Okay. So we're into our new format of the show, which is me talking to y'all, giving you tips in a short format. These episodes are going to be 7 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that range. We will still have guests on here and there, but I think it'll be a good mix, and we got some new stuff coming. Let's get into it today. Should you batch content? Well, first, what does that mean? Batching content is as it sounds. It's creating a lot of content at one time, then scheduling it all at once. So you're able to build out your editorial calendar. Now, I've worked with some people who they want their content 2, 3 months out in advance. And if you just heard that and you're like, I don't have mine scheduled that far, don't worry, neither do I or any of our clients. That is something a couple months out, I think is a bad idea. I think we should have a general direction of where we're going, but I don't want to be scheduled too far out. And we'll get into that exactly why. Let's talk a little bit about what we should do before we start to schedule and before we start creating. I always think it's best for brands to put together a plan, let's say with a quarter, or if you only have a month, you can knock out, that's fine too. And just say, okay, what are the themes I want to hit on? Right? What are the themes I want to hit on? What are the types of things I want to talk about? Is there anything offline that I need to be cognizant of and really work into my online strategy? Because that's going to help when you actually sit down to create content. Now, when it comes to creating itself, what I like to do is throw as many ideas as I can on the wall. I got to get into an idea session. I go, okay, cool. Here are 10, 15, 20 content ideas. Then I go back through and say, which ones can I execute on? Which ones can my team build on? Great. And we go from there. Typically, so I'll just let y'all know, we are usually scheduled 3 weeks in advance with most of our accounts. We go, and I would say ranges 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes things don't get approved or they get approved late. So we have to move it from there. Now, I will say this about scheduling, putting content in batch, all of this. It's only part of the equation, right? So I like to create a schedule, create a plan, and create against that and say, okay, we're going to have content scheduled for the next 3 weeks or next month, and here's our kind of our quarterly landscape, what we want to accomplish. However, we need to leave space for reactive content. Times and things move very quickly on social media, so I want to make sure always that we have the ability to be fluid and create content semi on the fly, or we're able to react, comment, talk with our customer base, create conversations, especially if something is happening, that's going quote unquote viral or happening in the world, contemporary media. It fits in with the ethos of our brand. So that's what I want to talk about now is how do we schedule and stay ahead? And then two, how much space should we have for reactionary content? You're going to hate this answer. It's super marketing speak, but it depends. I recommend that you create, like I said, 3 weeks in advance, but you do that via using templates or content templates or, similar themes. So then you know that you can create one type of content. Let's say it's educational content, or let's say it's inspirational or some customer stories, but you're able to create that content and you're able to do it in the same format. So, okay, we're going to do a customer interview and we're going to post that. I know the exact questions to send the past customer. I can knock it out. I can send it out to 5 past customers at one time. Great. Now I have these interviews and I can publish them over the next 5 weeks. I can do one a week. Awesome. I like that format. On the reactionary side, I like to leave a little bit of space, maybe one slot a week to be like, okay, we're going to leave Wednesday afternoons open to kind of go with the flow that week. And we move things through approvals pretty quickly. That ultimately depends on your approval process when you come into batching and creating. But that I leave up to you. If you're listening to this and you're a marketing leader, you're probably the one deciding that. So I would say give your social media managers a little more leeway. Let them get things out the door because it will make a difference for sure. Now, a big note here about putting things into the scheduler. Not all apps allow for scheduling. So this is a hurdle that you also have to overcome. Facebook recently announced, and we are, as of recording today, it's September 19th of 2022. So they actually announced this today that they are releasing their API or allowing the API for Reels. So they're going to allow for Reels to be scheduled via third-party apps. So if you're using, the buffers, the Hootsuites, we use Contentino, for instance, if you're using those platforms, I would expect pretty soon for them to be able to let you schedule Reels. This is going to be massive because one of the things that we notice here at our agency that's kind of like, it sucks, to be honest, is having to post reels natively every time. It really makes it tough to go in and batch content on that side of things. We can get it almost to the finish line, but then we still got to log in and get it across. So I'm really excited for that announcement that's come from Meta. So, I mean, to wrap this up, it's a short episode, right? How far should you batch? How can you do it? I think, look, it comes down to this. What's your bandwidth? I also think, what's your energy, right? You don't want to start creating crap just because you want to hit some 3-month or 2-month target or whatever it may be. So look at your energy levels. I tend to not create too much content in one day. I find by the end, it just starts to slip. So I like to create a couple pieces, and I have kind of my internal limit. So we want to go there. Okay, what are my templates? How can I get things through approvals if I need to submit them? And try to get stuff, batch create, and try to get it scheduled out 3 weeks, a month in advance. I'm telling you, it's going to make your life a lot easier. And if you're sitting there and you're like, what? I can schedule stuff? Yes, you can use either the native apps, a lot of times outside of Instagram Reels, like I just mentioned, but that's coming. Or you can use an app like I said, Buffer, Hootsuite, Sprout Social. We use Contentino, and that starts with a K. And you can check them out. I think they're out of Bratislava, but they're a great team, great product. Cool. That's it. Simple episode. If you like this, I do ask guys with this new format, we're trying to get this out to more people. Please do leave a review or share this with somebody in the marketing field. If you learned something or thought that this was valuable, I appreciate it. I will see y'all next time. I'm the host, Jordan Shelton, and this is the Mind Your Marketing Podcast.